Welcome to Motivate You, the Winner Circle here. Your host, June Archer, with another edition of the Winner Circle and Motivate You. My next guest, I am super excited to have him. You know him, you love him. You've seen him on the small screen and you've seen him on the big screen. You see him streaming. This young man is incredible. His story is incredible. His tenacity and his mental strength is impeccable. Please welcome to the show, Omar Scroggins, aka Spanky. Omar, what's going on, brother?
Oh, what's going on, June? I'm glad y'all having me, man. I'm glad to be here, bro.
Man, it is. I'm getting goosebumps already. So I'm telling you right now, we gonna have some fun,
Right,
brother.
right.
We have seen you over the years doing so many amazing things. You've had the opportunity to work with Bill Duke,
Mm-hmm.
Spike Lee, Martin Scorsese at such a young age. For you, when you first got in the game, you were just acting, you were doing, and I mean this respectfully, you doing a little something.
Right, right.
You were doing a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you found your blessing when a particular producer just caught their eye. Take me back to that moment, man. How did it feel to get your feet wet early in the game? I think you might have just been not even a teenager at that point.
Teenager, because I came in the game. I got my SAG card at 1992. So I came in the game. I was 11, yeah, at the time, and it was weird, man, because the way I got in the game, I used to watch the Cosby Show. You know what I mean? I know he got his complications and everything like that, but he's still the
He
one
he still
comedy to me. It's still like that. And I was watching one of the shows, and I was just looking at. I think it was one of the show, the first show that Bud was on, that Deion
yes.
was on. That's my big bro too. And I saw it, and I was just looking at him playing Kenny, and I was like, Dad, I could do that. Like, I could do that. That's easy. And then it was like I didn't know that I was willing into existence at the time. And all of a sudden I was in a school called the Newark Boys Chorus School. And a manager came and they saw me performing. They was like, "Yo, this kid is this and that. Let's put him in commercials. Let's do this. Let's do that." And I started to audition, and it was funny because I was so oblivious and so young in the game. Like, I really didn't know who Martin Scorsese was. So it
Right.
was like I knew what Godfathers was, but I didn't know who Martin. I knew Taxi, I knew those movies, but I really didn't think about the filmmaker. So we were at the Waldorf Astoria. I had to go into the audition for the Waldorf Astoria, and I walked in like I didn't know who he was. I walked in like his room was mine, his suite was mine, and then he saw me. He was like, "You know what, kid? Forget these lines. Just because you came in here like you didn't know who I was. I'm Marty Scorsese. He's like, I'm Marty Scorsese, but just because you didn't know who I was, I gotta put you in this." And that's what I was in that with Michael K. Williams. That was because it was Bringing Out the Dead. And then I
Right.
him, and then it was like so when I knew who Spike was because Do the Right Thing. And so it was like I was kind of what you say, I was kind of nervous to meet Spike because I love the movie so much that She's Gotta Have It, School
Right.
Day, Do the Right Thing. Like I
More
was,
better blues
yeah,
classics.
I'm saying, and I was actually studying him, Matty Rich, God rest his soul, the movie. You know what movie I'm talking about? Yeah, I can't believe I can't remember what his name is right now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was looking at filmmakers because I wanted to tell my stories. But it was just like I was so oblivious to who they really were. I never felt that I never felt like, oh, that's a star, so I'm supposed to act a certain way. I just acted as myself, and that's how I became that's how success happened for me in this business.
Now
It,
I want to get back to something you said is super interesting and something that I think people can walk away with. You just expounding on this. You talked about going into a room fearless. You talked about speaking it into existence. How important is that, Omar, to speak things into existence, but also when you walk into a room, like command that room, like you belong there. Seems like you went into that audition knowing like, yo, like oblivious to who Martin Scorsese was, but more importantly, like you went in there with a confidence that
Right.
was mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Mm-hmm.
for him, how important are those two things?
Those things, first of all, those are like the keys to, especially if you're acting in this business, especially if you're auditioning, because the thing is, there's so many unknown unknowns that you need to have a consistent confidence, which will bring you over, because you might not be right for that role. But
Right,
if they
right.
get that confidence and they see this, like, oh, it's just something about him. It's just something about her, whoever it is. So when you're dealing with, when you actually, I'm very spiritual, so I deal with the creator all the time. And I feel like if the creator made me, I'm wonderfully and beautifully made from the creator, there is no fear when it comes down to that, because if they play, the creator places every good thing on the other side of fear. And what fear is, false experiences appearing real. So it's like, it doesn't matter if Eddie Murphy's in there, Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, like, but I'm Omar Scroggins, or I am whoever you are. And you want to, there's something special about everyone. There's a gift that everyone has. And if you're confident and you come in there like, listen, I know you are who you are, but I am who I am, good things will happen.
Now, for you, this road has not been an easy one. Uh, there are times for actors, man, you still have to audition. You really have to put your best foot forward. You got to go in there knowing, like, hey, this is the next job. I got to try to figure this out. And we didn't get to see you for a few years
Right.
until you hit upon the power
Mm-hmm.
cult.
Right.
I want to ask you, who did you have as a mentor along the journey to help continue to fuel that fire?
Oh, wow. And it's funny because, a lot of people, when they get into this business, they have they can actually get a mentor. Like, somebody comes up, oh, I like what you're doing. You're talented. This, but everybody didn't react to me like that coming in. I don't
Mm,
know if because I'm from Newark or whatever they thought was going to happen or whatever. But nobody really extended their arm to me. Like, everybody was like, "Oh, he's on set. All right, I need to clutch my pearls, or I need to be on my game." Not like, "Oh, yo, Omar, listen, you need to do this, you need to do that." It was one person that said something to me, and it wasn't long. I was on Sopranos, and I had a very very small part, but James Gandolfini
mm,
did a we did a table read, and because my two lines were so big, even though it was just two lines, he walked up to me. He was like, if anybody could make two lines seem big, especially in a table read with us, you're a star, no matter how long it takes. So never stop doing it. So, I mean, and it was like he passed away not too long after that. And it was just like, that was the thing that kind of, I was like, wow, it stuck with me. Cause I was like, wow, why would he take his time to say that? This is Tony Soprano. Like, why would he?
right.
You know what I mean? I'm a little black kid on the Italian show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to see that. So, but they were like, it was just, it was an amazing experience. But it was just like, I started laughing because I'm like, I only had 4 words to say, but he was like, your presence was so big. He said, you're so small.
Mm, mm.
So big. He said, those are the things that's going to happen. He said, don't worry about it. He said, because what's going to happen is that you're going to overshadow a lot of people, and they're going to try to push you to the wayside, but keep going. And as long as you stay consistent, you'll get there. And now we're talking. You know what I'm saying?
That's a beautiful thing. I love that. I love that. I want to talk to you about something, man, that is near and dear to a lot of people now. For me as well. I think there's so many people. It seems like it's even taboo to talk about it. I know that you are for the cause.
Yeah.
I've read about it, and I feel comfortable speaking with you about this subject. I want to talk about mental health
Mm-hmm.
in two aspects, Omar. Um, you have gone on to do some amazing things. When you got the opportunity, we're going to talk about power in a second, but when
Yeah.
you got the opportunity to get into this franchise, you lost your mom.
Yes.
Um, and that's a big blow, depending on what that relationship can be. There are
Mm-hmm.
people here that are losing people daily, Omar. Whether
Yeah.
it's COVID, whether you know, um, senseless violence, people are
Mm-hmm.
losing their homes. Houston, Texas just went
Uh,
through something severe. What is the best piece of advice that you could give someone that went through something? Because you came out on the other end of this, and I
yeah.
know it wasn't easy.
No.
But there's a word of encouragement for anybody. I don't know what it's like to lose a parent. I have not done that yet.
Right.
I can imagine that it's something that is something that you can't really describe.
You
For that
can't.
person who is struggling to figure out if there's even light at the end of the tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to that person?
I would say, well, first of all, I would say that there's strength in the struggle, and there's no you're going through this hardship for a reason, and after hardship comes ease, because I got to see I had to see my mother suffer, actually suffer. She had acute bronchitis and COPD, which is like the last leg of COVID. So it was like she was experiencing that before the world was. So I got to see that first. And it's like you never want some it's a when somebody's going through something like that, it's like it's so you wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy, because just to think about the fact that you can't gasp air. So this is what I did was, after she passed away, after I was there for her, after she passed away, what I did was I put myself into my craft for the last season of Power, because I was season 6 was coming up, and I started to I studied Michael Caine. I did monologues. I just buried myself into something creative, because I knew that because all of us are warriors, right, and we all have chinks in our armor. So therefore, when something hard happens, you have to put yourself into something that's bigger than you, and it's a spiritual journey. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that's how we did it.
For you, Newark, born and raised, backstage, we were talking about some of your family and friends. Um, how was it growing up in Newark? You were just talking about Tretch from Naughty by Nature. We were talking about Do It All from Lords of the Underground. And, how was it growing up, just a kid having a dream of being on television
Right.
and knowing that he had talent, growing up around so many amazing names, man, and so much amazing talent. I know Latifah's I mean,
Yeah.
so much talent. Bill Bellamy. Shout out to all of them, man. They've been paving the way. Red Man. The list goes on and on.
Well, it was different because I was so much younger than them. Even though I'm 40 now, like I mean, like most of them are like, in the 50s or whatever. So it's like I was a small kid, but it was like I had something. Everybody knew that I had something special. But I used to make fun of all of them. You know what I mean? I used to make fun of all of them. We used to call Redman Reggie. No, we used to get on Tretch all the time. It just was like I was the little what they used to call me O to the pole, like, because I was just too cool. Like I was from the polar regions. I was just too cool and just let it be known everything, and I had no filter. So it was just like it was weird, because it was like they didn't know I was actually talented till after I wasn't around them. Like I started to act when I wasn't around them. Like I was like 5 or 6 when I was around them, but I started acting at 11, 12 years old. So it was like it was different, because it was like it was so it was so regular to be around them in the studio and things. It was like that was just life. Life was art, as far as, because you had, like I said, you had the artifacts, you had Naughty by Nature, yeah, like I said, Queen, Redman, Shakim, everybody was there, Mel, Mufi, and KG, and it was just like I was just growing up around them. But it was funny because it's like when I actually got into the business, I couldn't connect with them.
Right, right.
So it wasn't like they could help me do anything. I mean, me and Tretch, we did a couple of things with my agent or whatever. You know, he had to, you know, he needed a new agent, and so you know, I passed him a new agent. But other than that, I pretty much did this by myself, by the grace of God.
No, I love that. So let's talk about that grace of God. Uh, you bucked upon this amazing franchise called Power,
Wow.
uh, and birthed the one that we know and love, that a lot of us fell in love with, man. That everyone has a homie, right? Everyone
Right.
has their guy. Spanky was our guy. I don't know if you realize, you might have heard it, man. You made Spanky come alive in a way where he found a way out of no way, and his presence, no matter how glum the situation was, Spanky always found a glimmer of hope or something snide or something to say to kind of just lighten up the air, man. How did you, because every actor says they study a particular person, they try to bring somebody in. How much of Spanky is Omar, and how did you study to even bring Spanky to life?
Okay. So some of the little like the little snide remarks and you know how Spanky reacted to certain things, that's a little bit of me. I got a little snide remarks and stuff like that. I'm sarcastic, you know, but it was, I wanted to, well, first of all, when I booked the role, I didn't think I was going to be on there but for one episode.
Hmm.
So I wanted to make an impact where uh anybody could relate to this character even if it was one episode. But what began to happen when they asked me back was, because the description was a grimy street cat with glasses. So I said, wow. I said, so how can I freak this? But then I thought about Spanky from the Little Rascals. I said, but the name is Spanky. I said, and
Right.
Spanky, small dude with a big personality and big charisma, and he was the brains of the operation.
He was. He
So I said,
was.
he was always the brains of the operation. So I said, oh, okay. I said, and he's wearing glasses. So I'm like, he sees everything. He's got 4 eyes. So I started to give him a backstory. And I'm sitting over there and I said, you know what? Spanky will make a light moment in this whole dark power universe. That's who Spanky is. But I want to do it seriously. I don't want to be funny. Like, I didn't come to be funny. I came
Right.
to be serious. It just so happens that because I had the glasses and fro, and then the way I was saying stuff, it came off funny. So I said, well, I will be the comic relief of the show. And that kind of happened season 5. Like, it was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be the comic relief of this show. And then everybody started to react to it, and it was approachable and authentic. So they used to, on the set, they used to be like, don't tell nobody, but you're my favorite. I was like, don't tell nobody, but you're my favorite. And like I said, and now and they Gary Lennon Jr., like, that's my man. He always called me a scene stealer. He's like, you're just a scene stealer, Omar. I don't but you know, it is what it is.
All right. So in true fashion, then I'm gonna represent. I gotta show Spanky some love. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do this power report.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, he pulled the glasses out. Hey.
so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions on this, man. So if you could bring any character back from Power, if there was a way you could listen, this person that deserve it out, if I could say this person, who
Right.
would that character be?
Right. And I'm not gonna say me, because that's be whack, right? So I would bring back, honestly, it's only one, right? Only one?
If you could bring back one person, who would it be?
One person. I would bring back Pancho. Pancho, the one I would bring back Pancho. I would bring back Pancho. I think because of the way he got killed. Like, I don't
Okay.
want to deal with the writers and all that. I'm just saying, just the way he got killed. He was there since the beginning. Like,
Right.
he was supposed to be Vibara's second in command. That was the one I actually wanted to see, because I know him, because Frankie G, that's my man, and I know him. I respect him as an actor, and I would love for him to do that.
All right. Who could Spanky have killed in order for him to be the boss? If Spanky could have killed somebody, that he could have been, I know a lot of people was going for it. Everybody was gunning for that number one spot. If there
Right.
was a chance for Spanky to become the boss, to become that number one, who would he have to have killed?
Tommy, for sure. Because
Mm,
Tommy wouldn't have seen it coming at that time. Before,
right. Not from Spanky. Not from
no,
Spanky.
no, never would have seen it coming. And Spanky would have been able to move stealth on him and get that off. So yeah.
Now, so you were on this franchise, man. You did some great time on there. How was it like working with Courtney Kemp and 50 Cent? Let's start with Courtney first. She's been the brainchild. She is amazing. I've heard so many amazing things. Had the pleasure of meeting her. An amazing spirit. How
Yeah.
was it working with Courtney?
Well, Courtney is so crazy because Courtney knows how to, and once she has you on one episode and she wrote for you one time, she's a genius at knowing how to write your dialogue. Like she could take the character, like, oh, especially if you improvise or do something in the table read, she knows how to expand your part. And um the fact that she even gave me a chance to show what I could actually do, even though, like I said, Spanky, it didn't seem like Spanky was supposed to be a part of the whole conglomerate. But the way they allowed Spanky to develop and gave me a literary license pretty much. And whatever I wanted to do, I can't thank her enough. I'm so appreciative for even having the opportunity to work with Courtney.
Man, that's dope. That's the power report. That's my ode to my man Spanky. How was it working, man, with
Oh,
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, man?
it's different with 50. I didn't get to answer you about 50 too.
Yeah.
But 50 was it's weird because I did music back in the I was in the music game back in the day. So me and 50, we had a couple of things that we were doing. We were both signed to the same we were both signed to the Henchmen.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we met back in the day or whatever. But when we met each other on set, um he was allowed to, you know how 50 is. 50, he's really not about letting people in.
Right. No, not
Like,
that easy.
yo,
Not that easy.
nah, it's not that easy. So when we started to talk about Jimmy and stuff like that, he's like, "Oh, my man. Oh yeah, I remember you." And we started kicking it, and it was so authentic, and he could be himself in front of me. But it was like, you're an actor, you doing this business, I'm paying you, but I could be myself in front of you. Like he would take off the mask when it came in front of me. He was like, oh yeah, well, we could do this. He was just straight up five. And I appreciated being able to share those moments with him, and a lot of the he a lot of the knowledge that he learned in this game he bestowed upon me as well, to become an entrepreneur in this business and not just be a performer. So I got to thank him and big up to Five all day. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a gem that he left with you that you currently go back to and try to make sure that you articulate and make sure that you execute that gem that was given by him?
Told me, he said, never think of this as just performance. Think of this as business. Because if you don't think of this as business, they're going to take everything from you because you're a jewel, you're golden. So they're going to take stuff from you, and they're going to make sure they don't have to pay you what you owe. So always get what you owed. And I take that with me everywhere.
Oh man, that's dope. And he has plenty of gems. If you ever have the opportunity, don't look at the don't look at Mr. Petty. Don't look at the the 50 Cent that you know. Sit down and have a conversation with him, and you get to understand why he does what he does,
Yes,
how he thinks the way he thinks, and how he moves the way he moves. Tell people he's usually, by the time you get upset about something he's done, he's past that step. He's 5 steps ahead of you, and
exactly.
you still on that step, and like he's already thought this out, like
Yeah,
as a chess master. So don't get caught up on, why did he do that? Like, why did he say this? Like, it was strategic in the moment to do something that led to 5 steps later on in the game. So
right.
don't ever get that twisted.
Exactly.
We're gonna play this game, man. I've been playing it with a lot of celebs, a lot of notables, man. I want to play this game called University of Dope with
Okay.
my man Omar Scroggins from Power. And you and Two Bit were the dynamic duo. Spanky and Two Bit was the dynamic duo for us, man. It'll be great to see y'all back in some capacity. So in true form, I'm gonna start off with this particular question, man. Here we go.
Okay.
Who is the dopest duo? Is it Havoc and Prodigy, Method Man and Redman, Jadakiss and Styles P, or Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre?
Oh, that is a crazy one. You know I'm from. Oh man. Yo, you know what? Because of the consistency, really, I'm gonna go with Jadakiss and Styles P.
Shout out to Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Omar, one gotta go. If you had to, who would it be? Would it be A, Fabulous, B, Nori, C, Pusha T, or D, The Game?
Oh, that is a crazy. Someone gotta go. All right, bye bye, Fab.
All right, all right. Now keep in mind, you have the opportunity to only pass once. We got
Okay,
we got 7 of these, so
hey, I'm
be
with it.
strategic. Be
I'm,
strategic.
I'm with it.
Choose the best rap group from the following. Is it A, Cypress Hill, B, Beastie Boys, C, Naughty by Nature, or D, Salt and Pepper?
See, naughty by nature. Easy.
Best film with a rapper in it. Is it A, Belly, B, Paid in Full, C, pick any Fast and Furious except the whack one with Ja Rule, or D, Set It Off?
Ooh. All right, paid in full.
Best Jay-Z album. Is it Reasonable Doubt? A, The Blueprint, B, C, Volume 2, Hard Not Life, or 444, D?
All right, I'm gonna go with reasonable doubt because you don't got American Gangster up there.
All right, say no more. $75,000 or a ticket to the Rock Nation brunch? Which one would you rather?
75,000 because I give me a ticket to the Rock Nation brunch after that. You heard?
The best song dedicated to your moms. Is it A, Miss Jackson by Outkast, B, Hey Mama by Kanye West, C, All That I Got Is You, Ghostface, or D, Dear Mama, Tupac?
Dear mama.
One gotta go. Is it J. Cole, B, Drake, C, Kendrick Lamar, or D, Childish Gambino?
Yo, You know what? Take Childish out of here. He can act, man. Get out of here.
You're stranded on a deserted island, but you can only listen to one album, Omar. What will it be? Will it be A, Black on Both Sides by Mos Def, B, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Lauryn Hill, C, 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, or D, The Chronic by Dr. Dre?
Damn. The Chronic, man.
Erase one from hip hop history if you had to. Is it A, Swiss Beats, B, Dr. Dre, C, The RZA, or D, Timbaland?
First of all, this is not even fair, and I'm gonna pass on that because I want beats from every one of them. So I'm gonna pass on that one.
All right. So last one here. Oh, here
Okay.
it is. Erase one person from hip hop history. Who would it be? Would it be A, Nas, B, the Notorious B.I.G., C, Tupac, or D, Jay-Z?
Wow. You know what? This is the hardest one, but I would go with A, sir.
Omar Scroggins, thank you so much for playing the University of Dope. Unpopular opinions are welcome. You can pick that game up at universityofdope.com. It's all fun. It's hip hop culture, and the answers change all the time.
Right.
Omar, man, you've been doing this for a long time, man. Not only acting but producing, creating. What keeps you motivated?
To tell our stories, to tell the stories of people of color, like that. Because we don't get enough. I'm tired of. I mean, I know slavery was a part of us or whatever, but I'm tired of telling that story. You know, I want to tell the Black opulent stories. I want to tell those other stories that it's like, oh, I'm not telling this story just because it's Black. It just happens to be Black people in the story. So
Mm.
that's what keeps me because, like you said, if you change one person's mind, if you make one person good, then you did your job. So that's why we keep doing it. That's why I keep doing it, man.
Music is a soundtrack to our lives, man. I know you're a hip hop head. I know you love music. Um, what song best represents your journey up to this point, or which artist best represents your journey and where you are today?
And it's crazy. This is crazy. The answer to this question is crazy because I'm definitely a hip hop head, right? But my song wouldn't be a hip hop song.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my song would be Sam Cooke, A Change Gonna Come. See what I'm saying? Because I've been through a lot of struggles and a lot of strife, and I'm still here, and we're still gonna make it happen. And you know that that's the only thing that's constant is change. So a change is coming. That's what I listen to. That's what gets me into my mode to do my thing, and you know that's it.
The only thing that remains constant in this universe is change.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you sharing that. Um, I know your mom is looking down on you. I know that you speak to her, man, but what do you think she's saying right now?
She probably telling me, "Yeah, put your big boy drawers on and get the going, get it going. You ain't doing enough." But no, she was really happy that I got on Power, and she didn't get to see this last season. And that's what she wanted to see was me have more of a role and everything, and she didn't get to see that while she was here, but. I know she's smiling down and she knows she's like, yeah, we doing our own thing and we doing our own creative projects that's coming out this year. And um, she just like, yo, stay tough and keep your big boy drawers on and keep it going. That's what she's saying to me right now.
Where can we follow you? What is next for you that we can support? And is there something that we could do to help the cause, man? You're helping the whole mental health piece of it, man. How can we support you and where can we find you?
Well, I'm OS Scroggins on at OS Scroggins on IG, and we got I got a yeah, the Michael Che, there's a Michael Che show that's coming out on HBO Max. It's called Community Service, and it's a sketch comedy show that's like Saturday Night Live, but it's more real. It's urban, it's authentic. It's not just in the studio or whatever. It's on location, and I play a barber in it, and it's funny because it's they're talking about they're talking about. I'm not gonna let go too much, but
Yeah.
barber that came home right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and they had to go into quarantine and everything. So it took him back to when he was locked up. So it's like he's still locked up in his head. So it's like it's that was a good joint though. That's a comedy joint too, because I don't
Okay.
usually do comedy, but that's a comedy joint, and it's that's coming out, and I'm producing some things that I really can't disclose right now, but I definitely gonna stay in contact with you, Archer, and we're gonna get it together. I'm gonna let you know what's going on. I'm gonna keep you
No,
abreast. Sure.
please do, man. I am here to help promote, push, support anything that you have. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Omar Scroggins here, man. We had a great time. Remember what he said, man. When you walk into a room, command it. You got to speak things into existence, speak life into things that you know and love, and just make sure that you're good at it. Put the work on everything that you love, and
Put the work in.
put your big drawers on. You
Put
got
your
more
big
work
boy
to do.
drawers on, like Ma said. Put your big boy drawers on.
Put
But no,
put the big boy drawers on.
the thing is what they don't understand is repetition is the actual, is it just repetition makes it hard, makes it good.
He said it, y'all. Put in the work, man. Put in the shots. Some people may not be in there when you in the gym, but there's levels to this. And if you want to get to the next level, you got to put the work in. First in the gym, last one to leave. Omar, thank you so much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Omar Scroggins, aka Spanky from Power. We appreciate you. And listen, find the opportunity to tell somebody that you love them. Maybe the last time you see them. Be
Nice.
good to someone. Like it, love it, share it, subscribe. This is your host, June Archer. We thank you so much for tuning in to the Winner Circle Motivate You. Y'all be good.
All
Peace.
right.